Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, and today I'm going to be talking about a subject that goes along with your Family Consumer Science class on housing. And not because I wanted to do it this way, but because it happened, circumstances beyond my control. My husband has moved to another city, and we needed to purchase a house there. He's going to be living there for a year before I move down, and it's kind of impossible for me to fly about 2,000 miles every time we want to look at a house. So I consented to let him go house shopping for us. Now, I don't recommend this for every married couple, but we have been married long enough and have owned our home long enough that I felt he knew exactly what I would want in a house. We talked about it before he left and kind of set some criteria down of what was important in a house and what wasn't. But because of that, I have been house shopping from the internet, and we have purchased a home, and mostly we purchased the home before I ever actually got to see it, and we purchased it on the internet. So today I just want to talk to you a little bit about that process. It's not a process that I recommend for everyone, especially a first-time home buyer. You may want to consider actually going in, looking at a home, not building a new home maybe for the first time either, just because of the pitfalls that can come with it. Well, we're off, and today this is the city that I'll be moving to, famous Las Vegas. And so Las Vegas is one of the fastest booming areas in the country right now. They have 2,000 to 3,000 people moving into the area a month, and so housing is going up very rapidly. And we had numerous homes to choose from, and how we narrowed down the criteria that we were looking for is we at least had to have a 2,000 square foot home. With that idea in mind, we are also downsizing from our home, which is about 3,000 square feet at the moment, and I wasn't too happy about that, but we decided to target a certain price range, and that was the price range that we had, because not only did I want a new home, I also wanted some extras that most people maybe not would want to buy with the first time, and that was I wanted to have a pool since we were going to be living in a hot and humid climate. And with that in mind, I decided to go with a house that was a little bit lower in our price range than I wanted, so I could add the pool and then be in our price range for that. So what happened is my husband went out searching by himself, and he'd call me every night and say, okay, I found this house and I found this house, and what do you think? And we would talk about the price range, and if it had, you know, did it have a pool? Did it have this? Did it have that? And so we kind of narrowed our search down. And by doing that, we came to this builder, America West Homes. It's Southern Nevada's #1 home builder, and #1 home builder meaning they are building the most homes in this area at the moment. And as you can see, they have several different communities that are going up in the Las Vegas area. Here's the airport right here. This is Las Vegas Boulevard, which is the Strip, as everyone knows. This is more, we're over in the southwest, Henderson being right here, I-5 and 215 being the main route. We looked in the Paseo neighborhood, or I should say my husband. I looked in the Paseo neighborhood on the web and found the home that we liked there. And this website's very easy to go through. I highly recommend going to it. It's www.americawesthomes, all one word, .com, and it just takes you through everything. We looked at Plan 4 with it had 3 bedrooms, 2.5 baths, and an optional 4th bedroom. And that was another criteria that I had, is that I really needed to have 4 bedrooms. We have 2 children still living at home, and with the 4th bedroom option, downsizing our home, I'm going to lose some features in my existing home, an office, a sewing room, a playroom, and we knew since we were moving to the Las Vegas area, we were probably going to anticipate a large number of people visiting us. So this is the layout of the house, and I really liked this website because you could go to the little cameras here and look at, like this is the dining room and part of the kitchen you're seeing. Then we're into the family room. This gives a good view of the family room, a little bit of the living room, dining room to give you a layout. The kitchen, the living room. And then it really only gives you a couple good pictures upstairs. Now the view that we're looking at is the 3rd bedroom option. And if you want to see the 4th bedroom, the house that we've purchased, just click on variation, click on the 4th bedroom. I just think this is so cool because it snicks right in there. And we get the 4th bedroom option, and you can see that. Mind you, I had to look at all these pictures only on the web and decide with my husband if this was really the right choice for us. Of course, with any house, you're always going to love things and you're always going to not like a few features. And after talking to the realtor, talking to her on the phone, she told me that I would always ask questions that no one else would ask. And I said, well, I've got to know because I can't see it. I can't touch it. I can't see it. And it's really important for me to do that. One of the things I have since we purchased the home, I have seen the house. I've been in it, and a few things look different than they had when we were first looking at it, so that was a good thing. In the dining room here, you can see the 2 bar chairs, or the bar stools at the counter, and I was thinking, oh my gosh, the counter isn't very big, because if you think about 2 bar stools, how wide they are, and you think about your counter, I thought maybe the counter in the sink area wasn't going to be wide enough. But after looking at it, 4 bar stools actually will fit across that counter. And they just have 2 there, and they're actually shoved clear over to the edge for the picture. So that was a good thing. The dining room did look a little small, and it is a little small, smaller than what I have now. But it will fit a table with 6 to 8 people. So that's pretty normal for a normal dining room at this point. And into the family room, you can see the family room was a little bit larger than what I thought, and that was great. Here you can see one of the options. When you're buying a tract home, you need to keep in mind that the pictures that they show you, the pictures that you're going to see on the web, have every option imaginable that you can buy. They will give you a base price, and then plan on, depending on the development, $10,000 to $15,000 more for the options. One of the options that you see here is the fireplace. And just to give you an idea, the fireplace costs an extra $3,000. It's one of the more expensive options that came with the house. Here's a view of the kitchen. And the kitchen was bigger than I thought. One thing that I didn't like in the kitchen, well, there was 2 features I absolutely thought I was going to detest in the kitchen. And that was above the stove, or I shouldn't say above, in front of the stove, there's a window. And I knew some man had designed the house because no woman would sit a window back behind the stove. Not only is it a window, it's a bay window. And I'm thinking, who's going to clean all this grease off this window? And the window is arched, and up above in it is the hood fan. So you know that everything's going to get sucked up in there. Well, I actually, when I saw the house, I laid on I didn't fully lay, but laid on the stove so I could see up in there and look at the hood, because I wanted to see how good of a hood fan it was. But I don't think it's going to be as bad as I thought. The window is set back far enough. It probably won't get as much grease splattering that I don't want, and probably the only problem is it's going to be hard to clean. You're going to have to be on a stool or a step ladder or something to reach back over there, unless you're 7 feet tall, which I am not. And I like to cook, I like to bake, and so the countertops in the kitchen, the standard countertops that come with the kitchen, are tile. I asked to have linoleum, not linoleum, Formica, and that was not an option. They feel that that would cheapen their home, and they don't want to do it, and that if I want Formica, I have to wait and put the countertop in, and then after I've moved into the home, we can rip the countertops out. Well, I thought, no, that's not going to happen either, because tile is really dirty to rip out, and it gets everywhere. So I thought, okay, what's my next option? Well, my next upgrade is to have granite countertops. I love granite countertops. They're absolutely beautiful. But we don't plan on staying in this home longer than 5 years. So the expense of putting granite countertops in to the tune of $5,000 was definitely not an option to me. I decided that I would rather put $5,000 into a pool in my backyard than I would to have countertops. So what we've decided to do is go ahead and have the tile countertops. And as you can see, there's an island in the kitchen. And after we move in, I'm going to have a new countertop put in on the island. It's not very big. It's probably 4 feet by 2.5, 3 feet wide. And I'll either go granite, it'll be a smooth countertop. It'll either be granite, or I have seriously considered putting a stainless steel top in there. So I can set hot things on it, I can roll things out, I could make candy, and I'm not even gonna have to worry about anything, or granite. I'm not sure yet. The living room looked fairly small to me in this picture, but when I saw it, it is bigger than what I thought. You had more room to move around than I thought you would. You can see the front door, and as you come in the front door, the staircase runs directly up the front door. Up by the front door. There is a bathroom down here, and the laundry room is entered from the kitchen. And one thing that I asked is really interesting when you go to a tract home, they have the garages all locked up. You can't see them. I had to ask for them to come and unlock the garage so I could see in it. And I wanted to see in it for a couple reasons. One, I wanted to make sure that they didn't stick a post in the center of the garage, where sometimes they will for the support for this 4th bedroom. And I wanted to see if there was any steps leading up into the laundry room, because if you drive into your garage, you're loaded down with groceries. How many steps do you want to walk up? I would rather have a flat surface and maybe 1 step up, or completely level. And this one happens to be level, which I was jumping up and down for joy with. So let's move up to the upstairs and go to the master bedroom, which there is no picture of it. But the master bedroom is large. It's large enough to have a king-size bed with plenty of room, nice walk-in closet. We decided to take the garden tub and make it a jacuzzi tub. And the one thing that the shower has in it that I really like, that does not show on the plan and was not in any literature anywhere, is it has, the shower head comes out, and there's actually a built-in the tile place that you can sit down. So you could actually sit down to have a shower, which if I should say that I am now older, might be an advantage to having a place to sit down. Or if you had a small child and needed to stick them in the shower, they would be less likely to move around, and you just have a lip there. The second and the third bedrooms, pretty much, this one is showing the den option, which we didn't get, so the wall is there. They're both 11 by 12. One of them has just a regular sliding closet. If you wanted mirrored closet doors in this bedroom, you could have that for an extra $250, which I chose not to do because I thought all I was going to be doing is cleaning the mirrored doors from my children's fingerprints, so I didn't do that. I don't really like these 2 closets in this 1 bedroom, but they're workable, and I looked at them and they're not quite as small as I thought they were going to be. And in the 4th bedroom, this is a very large room. It's large enough that you could have 2 smaller bedrooms out of it. So we think this room's going to be very serviceable. We've actually considered, we have 2 girls living at home, 2 of our children, youngest ones, and we've thought about putting them both in this room because there would be room for 2 beds and all their toys. There's a built-in desk that goes right here. You can see in the picture. And it's just a really big, serviceable room. I was ecstatic to see the room. It was great. Now, one thing that you can do on the elevations, you can choose from 3 different outside views of the house. A, B, and C. I just want you to keep in mind that you want to ask them what the standard view of the outside of the house is, and in this house it's B. A, the outside, will cost you an extra, C will cost you an extra $1,000 just because of the windows and the little bit of trim, and it's only the front of the house that's going to get changed. The sides and the back are going to all look the same on this view or this floor plan. And view A is an extra $2,000 because of the wrought iron across here, and each one of them has the bigger window in the staircase. I just couldn't justify spending that much more on another view, so we just went with B. I thought it was fine, looked great, didn't like the wrought iron anyway, wasn't going to be worth it for $2,000 for me, but for someone else they might really like that. These are very small lots. Las Vegas is known for having very small lots. They're trying to cram as many people as they can into an area. And the lot that this house sits on is only 40 by 100. So my neighbor, there's only 5 feet clearance on each side of the house. And so there's really 10 feet between houses. And 10 feet just isn't a whole lot of room. And there is not the backyard fences, which are brick. They do not go all the way around. It's up. I mean, they only come part way up to the back of the house. They don't go run down all the way to the sides. So we've looked at the outside of the house. We've looked at the floor plan. In the brochure that you can also go to this website and request a brochure up here, and it will give you. They will send you floor plans for every. Let's see if I can get to it. I'm not going to go there. But there's 4 different models of houses, and there's different variations of those models. But one thing that they will show you in there is, I don't think I can get this all on here, so I'll move it a little bit, is these are the standard features that come with the house. Make sure you read them. Make sure you understand them when you're buying it. Like this one comes with certain kind of locks. It comes with smoke detectors in every bedroom, and as you go through this go through housing, you'll understand that smoke detectors in every bedroom is a really important feature. And I asked if they were wired in, hardwired in, or if they were battery. And these smoke detectors with battery backup. So some of them they told me are hardwired in, and some of them are just battery. And I think that's important to have a combination of both, because if your wiring is ever on fire, your smoke alarms aren't going to go off, and they're not going to do you any good. But just, energy conservation, yeah, we are moving to Las Vegas. It's very warm there. So the energy conservation issues that need to be addressed in the Pacific Northwest, especially in the area that we are, I need to address those down there. I need to have the insulated windows. I need to have, R30 insulation in the ceilings and 13 in the walls, because the heat's going to penetrate just as bad as the cold is in this area. And the one thing that everyone is real concerned about here is air conditioning units. And I asked if the air conditioning unit was big enough to handle air conditioning on both levels of the house. The house that I live in right now is 3-story, and we have a heat pump, so we have air conditioning in the summer, but when they put it in, they didn't explain to me that maybe it wasn't going to have enough power because of the 3 levels. So the upstairs of my house doesn't stay as cool as the middle floor and the basement. And so I was really concerned that this air conditioning unit wasn't going to be sufficient, and I checked it out, and it has enough power, and it will do the job. The one thing that I was disappointed with this builder about was when it was time to choose our lot, it wasn't like a normal go in and this lot sold, so you can pick this lot, and only certain lots will let you have certain floor plans. If you can see from this, this is down in the end of the cul-de-sac, and the end of the cul-de-sac will only take option plans 2 and 3. It won't handle the first option, and it wouldn't handle the house we wanted, which is plan number 4. But because this is down towards the end of the cul-de-sac, they consider these prime lots. And the numbers that you see here are the extra amounts that you're going to pay for these lots. This lot down here is going to be an extra $5,000, an extra $4,000, which I kind of was taken back at first. And not only that, so I said to them, okay, well, I want this lot here. And they're like, well, you can't have that lot because we're going to have to put your name in for a drawing. And they do this craziest thing. They have a drawing for your lot. Well, we almost pulled out of buying this house because of this lottery system, and I didn't think the person was real upfront with me when they told me about it, and they're like, this is what everyone does in Las Vegas. Well, I started checking around, and not everyone does it like this in Las Vegas. One thing that you want to be aware of, if you haven't, I suggest, highly suggest, don't just look at the lot on the map. Go out and look at the lot. These lots on this side have a berm in the back of the house. So not only is your house sitting on a 40 by 100 square foot lot, or 40 by 100 lot, you're taking up about, maybe 3 to 5 feet in your backyard for this raised berm back that raises up and connects to the back of your fence line. And your fence being concrete blocks, so it's a little thicker, so you've lost some area there. Well, when I saw that, I'm like, oh, the pool is going to have a hard time fitting in there. So I really didn't want this side of the house. We decided we wanted to be on this side of the development. Not only that, then east was going this way, and we wanted the early morning sun, how do I want to say it? The early morning sun would be in the back of the house and then move to the front. The sun would be in the front of the house in the evening. And the reason I wanted to do that is because, let me go back to this elevation here, because there's less windows in the front of the house. And part of the front of the house is the garage. So it's going to be easier to cool the house with the sun being on this side in the afternoon instead of the sun beating in the back of the house in the evening, where there's a ton of windows back there, one of them being my bedroom and one of them being the bathroom and the family room and the dining room. It just wasn't going to be an ideal situation for us. So going back to the map here, you know, be very aware of what you're buying. Make sure you've checked out that lot and it's exactly what you want. Now, as we move down the street, these lots aren't premium lots. Like this one's included in the price of your house. But you want to make sure, you know, ask questions. You want to make sure how much you're spending. I mean, we decided that if we went with every option they had and we went with a premium lot, we could have spent an extra $15,000, and we haven't even touched the pool yet. And the other thing about this builder is they have one contractor for pools, and you either go with the contractor for that is pre-approved for their pools, because they will come in and build your pool while they're building the house. If you go with another pool contractor, what will happen is they will build the house first and then they come in and build your pool after you're already in the house. Well, that sounds okay, but remember that your neighbor's only 10 feet away, so they can't get a truck in there. So the cost of your pool just went up because they can't get their equipment back there to dig the pool. So they kind of have you if you want their pool. But the pool builder was really good. We like them. The backyard is small enough that it's more rectangular like this, and it doesn't have a lot of depth. Well, with two little kids, we decided that we kind of wanted to have a play area back there. And so I wanted them to take the pool in all the models, they show the pool long ways, that the house runs this way and the pool runs this way. And I had them turn the pool. So I got a bigger backyard and a smaller pool. But that was okay because we decided that we weren't going to swim probably laps no matter what size the pool was. It was going to be more for the kids to get in and splash, and people weren't going to swim laps. But I had them put the new anchor system in the pool that has a pulley system that you it's a harness and you can wear and you can swim. So you can swim laps with this, that it just kind of attaches to the pool. So we went with that and just went with a little bit smaller pool because it gave us more of a backyard. And that's another thing, you just need to work with the people. Now, I know that there's a lady who bought a house on the back here where the berm is, and she wanted that because she was putting in a pool and she was taking the berm and having it landscaped so that she had a waterfall with the berm. And that was kind of a cool idea. I'm anxious to see what that looks like. I think I've just about covered everything I want to talk to you today about buying a house on the web. I do want you to remember that it's probably not a good choice for a first-time home buyer unless there is absolutely no other way for you to buy a house. There's nothing that takes the place of actually going to the house and looking at it and trusting someone else to tell you certain features in the home. But it has been a unique experience for me to do it this way. This is the first time I've bought a track home, and the first time that I have bought a new home, and the first time that I've bought one on the internet. So I had a couple new experiences. I'm pleased with the house. It will be ready this summer and ready for us to move in, and I can't hardly wait to do that. But one thing that I do want to talk to you about is, I know from experience going through your housing class, that was a lot of valuable information that you can glean from this class, is that knowing what to look for in a home. I know that you're going to look at several different types of homes and look at what features you like. You're never going to get the perfect home. You're just going to have to get the home that best suits your needs for the money that you have to spend, knowing that maybe someday you'll be able to upgrade. So enjoy the class, and hope you enjoy sometime buying a home on the internet.